What is up, DG Army Nethervoid, back again with another strategy series this week for you. And this week I'm doing the Tier 7 French heavy tank, the AMX M4 1945, and this is a pretty fun tank to play. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. It has some good strengths and it has some obvious weaknesses, and that's the thing you need to know about this tank. It could be very frustrating for someone who doesn't know how to play it, and even myself sometimes knowing how to play it, it's still a very frustrating tank. So the strengths of this tank, it's actually pretty speedy little heavy tank, and that's because it's got pretty good acceleration. The top speed is not ridiculous, it's just got really good acceleration. So its mobility is pretty good, the traverse speed is pretty good on it, and the gun is really good. It's got nice pen and pretty decent damage, and it's fair. I'd say it's probably average on accuracy. The only problem with the gun is, like most French tanks, it's got a pretty slow aiming time. Look at that, 2.9 aim time right there. So those are the good things about this tank. The only problem with this tank is it's super weak. It's got worse armor than it's about the same armor as the Tiger H. So pretty weak armor there, and that's pretty much everywhere. The only place it doesn't have weak armor is in the mantlet. So that's the only place you can really get hit and maybe not take any damage. So knowing the strengths and weaknesses of this tank, what you really have to do with this tank is basically you just try not to get shot at. It's a lot like the Tiger H if you play that tank. If you haven't watched my Tiger H strategy video, it's very similar to that tank. Then the only thing that's different about this tank is it's got better pen and a little bit better mobility than the Tiger H. But basically what you want to do is use a house, a mountain, some kind of indestructible object to hide behind while you're reloading, and pop out and shoot and get your shot off very quickly, and you're gonna have to dance around a lot to make sure that the other guy doesn't hit you. Like some other tanks, you could kind of take some hits or maybe try for some bounces when you're doing the pop-out game, but this tank you really need to be just an expert at pop-out game. And I'm going to show, you're probably going to see a video down here in the lower right where I'm doing a lot of the great pop-out maneuvering that I'm talking about. The only reason I didn't load it as one of the primary replays to show you is I got shot in, and I usually try not to show those videos if I can help it. But watch this video for some great pop-out game where I'm popping out, holding off 4 tanks. Anyway, so that's kind of how you play this tank. You're going to pop out, try to get the other guy to waste his shot, and then you pop out and shoot him and stuff like that. Try not to get hit is what you really have to do. Also, try to get flank maneuvers on people. This tank does have good mobility, so you should be able to get flank around guys, especially tier 8s and 9s and stuff, and shoot them from the sides of the rear. With the pen, you don't have to shoot from the sides of the rear. You can hit people in the weak spots in the front and pen them. But you can. The best thing to do, though, is to get flank shots while the enemies engage with somebody else. That way they're not shooting at you. Another way is to stay hold down a lot. Now, hold down, I don't mean show your turret. I mean hold down, or there's some other term. It's not hold down, it's like turret down, I think. You stay turret down when you're reloading and when people are trying to shoot at you, and then pop out just enough to shoot them and then go turret down again so they can't even shoot at you at all. I'm going to show you a video where I'm trying to do that. I'm fairly successful at it because I've got so many people shooting at me. I almost die, but I do not die. I'll show you that in a minute. So that's pretty much how you play this tank. It takes a long time to get used to it. Once you get used to it, I think you'll like this tank. I like this tank, but I really can't wait for the Tier 8, which is where the French really get their benefit, is in the auto-loading gun. The Tier 8 does have the auto-loader as far as I remember. If not, please correct me in the comments. I do like when people correct my mistakes. It helps everybody out, really. So anyway, then it'll have bad armor, good mobility, and a really insane gun, and that will make it more balanced with its peers. This tank is not really balanced with its peers. The T29 wrecks this thing. It eats its lunch. It's like fighting a Tier 8 when you have to fight a T29 in this. So anyway, that's how you play this tank. That's kind of a long explanation, but I think that's the best part of this, one of the best parts of these videos. Let's get into stats. 1,200 hit points is pretty average. The Tiger H has 1,450, the top of the Tier 7s. I think the rest of the tanks have around 1,300. Usually the French tanks have the weakest hit points and also armor. 750 engine horsepower, pushing 55 tons, and that's how you get that acceleration. Like I said, and let me just make sure I'm not... Oh, I am herp derping. Wow, okay. Sorry about that. Apparently I never had this engine either. There was a time when I was going tank crazy. I had to buy a bunch of stuff, and I unlocked stuff and forgot to buy them. Like, I know there's another tank, and I'm not going to waste my time, but where I didn't buy the upgraded engine, and I need to buy it. Anyway, so even better, 850 horsepower, pushing 55 tons, almost getting closer to a 20-to-1 ratio, which is really the sweet spot for mobility. A lot of the great mediums have a 20-to-1. This is like more like 15 to 17-to-1 or something like that. If you guys want to mess with the math, that's fine. I think this is 17-to-1. Really awesome mobility here. You're going to get to 35 speed limit, no problem in this tank. It's actually very speedy, especially with that top engine. Even with the medium engine, it's very speedy. All the games you're going to see is with that medium engine, but the upper engine, it just makes this thing ridiculous. 24 track traverse combined with 30 on the turret is really amazing. The turret has really great traverse, which is unlike heavies. Usually they do not have very good traverses on the turret. It's probably because it's so light, because the armor is not very good on the well, the turret has 100 in the front, the 90 on the front plate here, not very good. A little bit better than a Panther's. The hull on the sides and on the turret is horrible. Do not get flanked in this tank. Anybody can pen you. Tier 4s are going to be able to pen you with that kind of armor. So always keep the front facing the enemy and at an angle about like this. If you give too much of an angle, that's a shot on your side armor there, so that's really pretty easy to pen even at that extreme angle. So you just barely want to angle it like that. So be careful with that armor. It's very, very weak. Rate of fire is decent for a heavy. 7 per minute is actually pretty good. Usually you'll get like 5 or 6, so 7 per minute is pretty good. Again, we already talked about that. 360 view range, it's decent. It's actually pretty good. I think there's 390 for the low, if I'm not mistaken, that's pretty ridiculous. But again, the low's a sniper tank, so it's gonna have 400, so it's even better than I was saying. So 360 is pretty good. It's pretty average, but it's definitely a high tier view range. 750 signal range is like all big tanks. It's got the tier 10 radio, so you're not going to need anything else. Awesome radio. Now let's get right into modules. Actually, I usually do weak spots before that. So you don't really need to know the weak spots because the whole tank is a weak spot, but let's talk about it if you're kind of a lower tier. As usual, we've got the machine gun turret. We've got the viewport right here. At least I think that's a viewport. It doesn't have a slit in it, but I think that's a driver. Oh, there it is right there. There's the driver viewport. So here's another viewport to hit. You can also hit in the flatter part right here. That's not mantlet, this is mantlet, so you should be able to go through right there on the turret. Cupola is an obvious spot. Anytime you can get side shots on this thing, that's what you really want to do, since it's got such bad armor on the sides. Lower plate's an obvious choice, especially since so much of it's sticking out, like the German tanks. And that's pretty much it. If you can get a shot directly into the front track, the front wheel here, and into the armor here, that's a great spot to hit the tank. You'll almost always track the tank and get a full round of damage into them. It's a great spot to hit as well. So that's this tank's weak spots. Let's get into the modules. Tier 10 radio is pretty awesome. You should have that pretty much from lower in the line, if I'm not mistaken. What was before this? I'm already forgetting. I don't see the tier 6 in here. It's the ARL44, right? Ah, here it is. Okay, so you should already have this radio. Throw it right on immediately. You won't have any radio problems. And you'll see in patch 8, there's a new screen that shows you when you're actually spotting guys and then allies are hitting them. You're getting XP and credits for that. So that's because you're spotting and you're radioing it back to allies. So that big radio is going to help with that. Tracks are pretty good. You're going to need them for the module upgrades, so you're going to have to get them anyway. It goes up from 22 to 24 to make this thing a little bit more mobile. And let's take this thing off, because it looks like you're going to need the upgraded turret for the gun as well. So let's start off with, I think you start off with this guy. Yeah, you do, ARL44. So let's start off with this 90mm gun, which is pretty good. 170 pen, 240 damage. You're still going to need to take the unupgraded turret. So you're going to have to get the tracks first. So that does kind of suck, but this is not a bad setup. The turret is a little bit worse for armor, but you should already be playing this thing like it has 80 armor on the turret, because it's really bad anyway. So the view range is significantly reduced by 10% there. That's another thing. You do get a little bit more degrees per second with the unupgraded turret, but this is relatively the same. The difference really is this view range. because you should already be playing like it has 80 no matter what. This is already almost no armor, so it doesn't really matter. So tracks, you're going to gain the 2 degrees per second you lose from getting the upgraded turret. And then when you get this DCA 45, you're going to see a huge pen increase and same damage and actually slightly reduced reload speed, but not much. Really the big difference is getting that 50 more pen or 42 more pen. It's going to help a lot. You're going to notice it big time. With 212, you still aim for the weak points. I'm not saying just shoot wherever you want, but when you have 212 pen, you should already know from the ARL 44, it's amazing because it's pretty much the same gun. It's a little better, but it has the same pen. So once you get that gun, this tank is really a lot of fun, but again, you have to be very careful. If you play a lot of high-tier heavy tanks, you won't be used to being careful. You need to get used to being careful again. Pretty much all French tanks, you have to be careful all the time. None of them really have any armor. I think... No, even the French TDs I don't think have any armor. So no armor on any French tanks, get used to it. So we've talked about all the modules, weak spots, stats and stuff. Let's talk about some research. So here's the M4's tech tree, and it's pretty obvious what you're going to go after because we already figured out you're going to need the tracks and stuff first. You're going to have this engine, you're going to have the 90mm F3, throw those two, oh, and this radio, throw all these three things on, and you should be pretty decent. You're going to know how to play this tank even with it fully unlocked. It doesn't really change how the tank plays. The only thing you're not going to be able to do is possibly shoot frontal shots on people because this only has 170 pen. But it's a lot like a lot of the Russian tanks that only have 175, so you should be pretty used to it if you played some Russians. So what you're going to do is unlock the tracks, put those on. That allows you to get the turret, which you're going to unlock, and then you're going to go right for the 90mm DCA 45 and throw that baby on. After that, you're going to be very lethal. You're going to unlock this last engine, throw it on. You're going to be very, very mobile. You're going to be flanking dudes and getting into some great positions like you're going to see me do and jack some fools up. In fact, I take an action that you normally don't do in a heavy. I'm going to show you in one of my games that you can... I do it with this engine. You're going to easily be able to do it with this engine, so you'll see. Also, unlock this 105 last. Actually, you're gonna have it from the ARL 44, so you should be all done once you do all those things I talked about. Then it's just the AMX 5100, and you're done. That's it. And we're back from research, and now we're gonna go over equipment. And there's a little bit of difference here with the equipment. Obviously, vents. You're gonna get vents on this tank. The rammer is actually not something you're gonna be able to use on the autoloaders. I'm fairly certain of that the autoloaders cannot use a rammer. So what I'm going to go with my tier 8, and you can already see I did not go with the vert stab because they also cannot load the vert stab as far as I'm aware. And let me go check that real quick though to make certain. Okay, I got it slightly backward. Since the autoloaders cannot use the rammer, what I was going to get is the coated optics to improve my view range. And then I'm going to get a vert stab as well, which the tier 8 and above can use. Tier 7s can't use vert stab. That's why I did it the way I did it. So this is actually just going to replace the rammer when I go up one more tier. So that's what I would get for equipment. The coated optics are great because you don't have to stop for them to kick in. And when you get in these French tanks, especially tier 8 and above, just like the light medium line, if you stop, you die. And so this is going to mean you get that nice extra view range at all times. So that's equipment. HE. Ammo, I always get 4 HE and the rest AP. And the really high pen guns, I think I'm going to start going 2 HE, the rest AP, because you really never fire HE if you can pen. So, not in these guns anyway. These are not TD guns. These are not huge caliber guns like the 150 or 190 or something like that. Full rack of consumables here. This is pretty obvious for tier 7 and above. You know, fire extinguisher, small repair kit, regular first aid kit. So let's talk about crew, and my crew skills do look like this. I usually get mentor on my commander right away. That helps increase the crew training speed of the rest of my guys by 10%. And what this will do is once this thing, it's actually 100% now. No, once I'm elited anyway, which I'm not yet. What that'll do is my commander will always be the one getting the bonus training when I'm elited. Which will be great when I'm in tier 10. So basically all my guys will be getting plus 10%. That's why I usually get mentor. The rest of the guys have repair because repair is very important when you get your tracks jacked up or something else you need to repair it quick. You only have one repair kit, so you really need to have repair on all your guys. Once this is 100%, I'm going to get again get all these exact same skills on the second secondary. I'm going to get Mentor and I'll repair, and I'm going to switch this first one to Brothers in Arms, because Brothers in Arms basically gives you another 2.2% to your whole tank, and I just think it's either as good as or better than all the singular skills that you can get with these guys. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to go to this guy's personal file. You're going to say drops, perks, and skills, and then you're going to do the 90% for 20k, and I don't have any money because I bought, it was 50% off equipment weekend, so I spent all my money. I actually sold 2 Arties too, since I don't play them, and bought like 2 million in equipment. So anyway, I'm going to use that to retrain them, and and that's how I'm going to do it. The third secondary, which you won't get to on the tier 7, but we'll talk about it anyway. I always get recon, which is view range for the commander. I always get skills that are active even when they're not at 100%, because the third secondary, you'll almost never get that. You have to play a long time to get that to 100%. So recon for the gunner, I always go with the VertStab skill. It's called Snapshot. Adds a 7.5% VertStab to your tank. The driver, if it's a slowly turning tank, I usually get clutch braking, which adds to the traverse. And if it's not, I get off-road driving, which is what I'll get with these French tanks, because I need to keep my mobility up, and they already have good traverse. With the radio operator, I'm going to get the skill that adds 3% to view range again. I think it's called Signal something. Hold on, let me go check. Okay, that one's called Situational Awareness, adds 3% to view range, and I'm going to go back on my driver and say I might do Controlled Impact. The French heavies are very heavy tanks for how fast they move, and so Controlled Impact can make me a ramming insane genius, okay? People are kind of, they're either think that's an awesome idea or they think it's a dumb idea. That's usually what I've seen. Usually people are pretty in one camp or the other. I think it's fun. I like ramming people. I love ramming people, especially if they die when I ram them. It just makes the game more fun. And if you get used to ramming people, you can add a lot of damage when you ram someone and shoot them in the face. It can add up really fast. So ramming, I think, is a great skill, and if it gets me an extra 15% ramming. Also, if someone rams me, I take 15% less damage, so I think it's great. For the loader, they don't have any skills. They only have perks, and perks are only active at 100%. So I think what I'm going to do with this guy is make him totally offense. I normally would get safe stowage, which adds 15% to your durability to your ammo rack, but I'm going to get the adrenaline rush, which means below 10% hit points, I will reload 10% faster, and that's going to really help with my auto loader. So I think I'm going to get adrenaline rush. Again, it will probably never be active because I won't get this guy 3 secondaries at 100%, but whatever, you know, it's something to work on. So that's the crew, and let's get into some games and show you what I'm talking about here. So here's a great game I had on Corellia. It's in standard battle mode, and let's zoom out a little bit. I don't know why it's so zoomed in. It won't zoom out. Oh, it's because it's not on free camera. Anyway, remember, this is with just the engine off the ARL-44. This is not even with the top engine. I'm already, well, I'm going downhill, but look how fast I got up to speed. So when you get the 850 horsepower engine, you're going to be flying around the map. Now, in this game, I show you, I do something that most heavies never do. And there's a reason they don't do it. It's because they kind of can't and shouldn't do it, okay? Most of the time when you see this happen, people get pissed at the heavy because they're not supposed to be doing this kind of stuff. And it's hard for them to help the team out when they do this kind of stuff. So let's wait for it to happen. We might want to speed this up a little bit because we got a longer game coming up after this. It's really, really long. So we got a tight coming up on the outside. I would definitely do that. It's a great position for that tank. Oh, look at this. And now I would actually normally be getting shot right here. I was taking my chances doing this, thinking hopefully at least I don't get tracked. Nobody shot at me. Now, I could have got to this position much faster with that 850 horsepower engine, but this tank's engine allows you to do sneaky style stuff like this. As you can see, the Tiger moved up too slow, and here's why. I look at my mini-map, 3 heavies going down the main line here, trying to go straight down the pipe. So now that I'm up here, unlike other heavy tanks, normally a heavy tanks would not be up here, but I am. So I can help take these guys out. And one of them already got taken out. Artie is trying to take me out right away. Sorry if you can hear the train going by. Seems like every time I record, everybody comes out and starts doing whatever they're doing. E50 over there all by himself. Not great for our team. This could be really bad. It's a good thing I'm up here. Maybe I can help this guy out. IS-6 And the low, oh, I could have shot at that low, but I'm a little too late. At least they've stopped, and now they've got a few guys up here shooting at him. And I knew he was going to shoot at me. Let's see what happens. Oh! Here's a scout! Now, if I wasn't here, this scout would be making mayhem up in our base. He is already more than half dead now. 37%. And I'm trying to shoot at him. Not doing a great job. Of course, he's pretty squirrely right here. And nope. Man, that was really bad, actually. Should have had him right there. I thought he was going to turn even more, though, the other direction. So I should have took the shot right there, but I was kind of waiting for him to serpentine back to where I can get a straight shot at him. That, I barely missed him. Gotta kill this scout. Cannot let him get up there and get the Panther. He's already spotted him now. Bam! I made good with my getting that guy out of there. So Tiger is getting jacked up by the E50. That's good to see. I'm trying to help this guy out over there, but he takes care of himself. He can take care of himself. IS-6 sneaking out. This is why this tank is not so great. Right in the front plate with the Tier 7 gun. Tier 7. He's trying to get out there. Another one right in the front plate. Now, of course, I'm at a downward angle to his armor, so that angle's not helping him that much. I'm really holding off the push from the other direction since none of our guys really went that way. Luckily, we had a couple heavies kind of hold back a little bit. Normally, that'd be bad, but in this game, it helped. So T25 just kind of hanging back. That one too. Looks like over there at C3, there's a couple guys. There's a medium up there, giving our E50 some problems. I say GG because we're up 4 tanks. Yep, T20. I could probably help him out. Oh, Tiger P! Trying to move in on this guy. Let's get some action. Bam! Right in the back. Now, Tiger P is very hardy from the front, so it's a good thing I'm getting back shots on this guy. E50 getting shots on him too. This guy's almost dead. He probably thought, oh, I'm just going to sneak in and this will be easy kill. There's only one guy over here. Nope. Boom! Chuck Testa. So this guy is almost dead now. Just going to figure, let's let the E50 take him out since I don't have a shot. He does take him out. Oh, there's the T20. Or there's another T20. I'm not sure if that's the same guy. It probably is the same guy. Get a hit on this guy. See, this gun is pretty accurate. You just have to wait for the aim time. The aim time is pretty bad. The fast reload is very noticeable on this gun. It's awesome. I should have been helping out with the Object 704, but I figured, you know what? Let's take this guy out of the game. Bam! He's gone. Now we only have a couple guys over here to worry about. So they had a really solid push on that northern lane. They should have went back and defended their base, but they're getting capped. This game is over. And it was really good that I was up here. It helped out our team a lot that I could get up here so fast to squash that push coming down the center line. And also help out a lot with that northern push that the enemy did. So if my tank was not as quick, I would not have been able to get up here and help those guys out. Remember, it's okay to kind of change your plan. What I had planned on doing is coming down with the mediums there and going around H8, like that medium almost is right now. But once I saw that mini-map, and always keep your eye on the mini-map, I changed my plan thinking, oh my god, look at that center lane. We could actually lose the game if they get through that. If they get through and get up in our base even a little bit, the game will be over. So I saw the mini-map, changed my tactics mid-game, right midstream like that, and just went right after them. Got some cover from Artie. Bam. You know, had a 1,200-point game out of that thing. Great credits. Great game. Only killed 2, but I bet you I damaged a ton of guys. Let's look. Killed 2, damaged 2. Detected the T50. 10 out of 13 shots. Again, I was shooting all the way across the map. That could have been higher. I think the 3 of the shots, those were misses from the T50. So all the other shots on other tanks connected, as far as I remember. Only received 1 hit from that Artie. Did really good at hiding myself. Great game. This is exactly what you want it to look like in this M4 1945. Let's get another one of these games where I show you how to play this tank. And here's the dreaded Campanella on Assault. Now, most of the time when people get, and I used to be the same way, most of the time people spawn on Assault where they have to attack on this map, in this mode, it's like, oh god, why don't we just quit? There's no way we can win because the defenders are on a hill. So they can just snipe you all day long up there. So what you have to do on this map is keep your head, get into some great slightly forward spotting positions where you can spot basically anybody in these bushes or coming down the hill even a tiny bit, and anybody down here like A6 and stuff like that, or maybe even A7. Once you can get their spotters out of the way, they can't really see you, and you can move up a little bit more, just enough to spot them on the hill. Once they're spotted on the hill, it's game over for them. You're going to be able to shoot them all day. There's really almost no cover up there. So here are their scouts, the T43 and the T1. I'm not really sure what the T1's doing except trying to die, I guess. The T43 is definitely doing what you should be doing. They really do need scouts down there. That helps them pick off guys all day long, and since they have a very high tier, or a high tier TD and 2 mid-tier TDs, this is a really good strategy, especially since they're defending. Those guys have to stay on the hill. They don't have a choice. So what I'm doing is I'm getting into a forward scout position so I can scout these guys that are hanging there way down the hill. But I'm also hidden. I'm turret down right here. Now I'm about not to be because I'm trying to get a shot off. And I get shot by a guy I can't see. There's a much more forward scout. I take a shot. I'm going to fix my gun here because for this position especially, I really need a very accurate gun. And I'm getting nailed. I need to get turret down. Just getting shot by all the guys off the hill. So I'm really, really down in hit points now. I was not very smart right there. I should have been more turret down. A T29 could have been hull down right there and have been fine. But this thing has no armor whatsoever. So I'm turret down right here. Pretty sure anyway. Let's look. Yeah, I'm turret down. I'm behind the hill. I'm trying to peek up a little bit over to get some spots so I can spot that guy so they can nail him. That's their forward scout. There is that T-34-85 over here to the side that we need to worry about. But he's not being spotted right now because he's not firing on people. When you're forward scout like that, it is best to not scout. And I'm saying, look guys, you have to move up. Especially now that I'm low on hit points, I can't take any more hits. It's attack. You have to move up. On assault mode, you only have 10 minutes, not 15 minutes. You cannot afford to sit back and snipe all day long from, you know, J0 way back at the end of the map like that. Especially that heavy that's back there. I don't know what he's doing back there. KV1, you should be forward like me. You don't have to rush out and die. I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to scout and keep up there. I have more hit points than most people. So I'm trying to use that to my advantage. That's the only thing I have over a lot of these other guys, like this 12-ton who has 600 hit points. Half of my hit points. And not really much more mobility if you've seen him moving around right there. Finally, we got some TDs moving up, some more people to help spot. Because I'm not having an easy time spotting these guys because they're not firing at me. I'm trying to pop out, maybe spot, maybe get them to shoot at me. That's really what I'm trying to do. The M6 is going to get shot out right here, I can tell, because he's way up over the hill. The T1 is just about dead, so he's not really much of a menace anymore. I'm trying to get shots on this scout. I do not want them to scout our whole team, which is really only 2 guys over there. I don't want him to get to our arty is the main thing. There, the whole hill is scouted. This is when you want to take shots on the hill. Not really sure where that shell went. Should have pinned him. M4 is getting juiced. He's way out in the open. Boom! Take him out. When the hill is scouted, you have to stop everything you're doing and put all your DPS on the hill. Take them out. That's how you win on assault on this map. So that's what I'm doing. That's what we're doing. Ignoring even their spotters. I'm going to take a quick shot on their spotter here. Get some damage on them. I'm at 63 hit points now, though. This is where if I had Adrenaline Rush, it would kick in. 120 is my 10% line. So I'm at 5% hit points. I cannot get hit. If I get breathed on, I'm going to die. KV1, way out there. Let's get rid of this guy. I'm still almost turret down. Let's get a shot on him. Boom! Take him out. Taking out their hill tanks. If you can do that, you probably will win. That probably hit that guy. We'll see if we get spotted again. 200 and something damage on a KV1 is a lot of damage. So it's another good reason to take them out. Because the 85 mil they have is not the greatest gun anymore. But it's still a good gun. It can still put out some DPS. They're easy, pretty easy target for a tier 7 to take out if you get a chance to do it. So he did not get hit, I don't think. No, I did not hit him. SG-100, great little tank, especially on this map. Let's get him out of the game. I don't know where that shell went. It looked like it hit him. 12-ton scout is still out there. I can't believe he's not dead yet. This guy needs to be out of the game. Wild shot. Thought maybe I could get him. Your shots are generally not as accurate when you can't see the enemy for some reason. Boom! Don't now hit the dirt. Not really sure why. Okay, 11 hit points left. Come on, let's get this guy out of the game. He's aiming at me. Missed over his side, over the top of his turret there. Again, I'm not taking all the time I could to aim properly. The server reticle is usually about 1 second behind, or 1 or 2 seconds behind your reticle. So I could have sat there a little more for a more accurate shot, but not under fire. This thing has to stay turret down. Okay, especially with 63 hit points. You cannot be shot at. Save your... Really, I'm telling the other guys, you got to move up a little bit, because I cannot help spot anymore. I need to stay... I need to just do DPS. I'm not really sure what's happening with my shots on this game. They seem like they're connecting, and I'm not getting any, you know, confirmation or someone saying, you know, you missed or whatever. Scout getting really ballsy here. Let's get rid of this guy. I can finally do it. No brainer here. Boom, you're dead. Very exposed. Wow, I'm exposed. SU-100's at 5%. Oh yeah, see the 152 takes a shot at me. Again, once they're spotted, take your time and shoot at them. A no damage pen. And let's try another one. Another no damage pen. This guy should be dead now, or actually. That's 2 pens, no damage. Another shot, thinking maybe he's still there. He was. Oh no, that's the SU-100. Get rid of him, get rid of him, quick! Here we go. They've had plenty of time to kill us off while we're getting no damage pens. Now, the KV-1S, I think he went around the other side, so he could easily come all the way around the back here. He's pretty fast and come up behind us and trash us, take out our arty in the process. There's only 2 minutes left. All they have to do is distract us. It's time for us to push. We have to push on cap if we're not going to kill everybody. So the KV-1 is moving up. He has the most hit points. Actually, Yog Panther has the most, but he is not moving. I'm telling him, look, you move up. You have the most hit points. Yeg Panther. I said I was going to start saying that. I hope I'm saying it kind of right. Maybe it'll feel better when I say it a few more times. Let's speed up a tiny bit. Don't want to speed up too much because I think something happens real quick here. KV-1 going right into... I think he's kind of scouting, but he's going to get ready for cap. Telling Yeg Panther to get up there. He's finally sort of doing it. Not really. He's not really scouting. He needs to get up there. But I'm ready to fire. That's the whole point here. I'm taking some chance. I could get spotted and juiced. But I need to be ready to fire if that guy pops out. I need to be ready to shoot right away. So actually, I should really stop moving. I'm moving up a little bit just because I want to... If he's not going to get the spot, somebody has to get the spot on this guy. There he is! There he is! He's coming out to take him out so he can stop capping. Boom! Both of us get the shot on him and kill him. Pretty much a sure victory. This is pretty much a sure victory now. I am not going to take any chances, and I'm going to watch the backside. Really worried about the KV-1S coming up from the back. So I'm just going to at least spot him if he does try to come up this way. Because he maybe could still win with that huge gun if he was really cautious. And look, we only got 30 seconds left. If he shot us, all he has to do is shoot one of those guys on the cap and they will win. Doesn't even have to kill anybody. So I'm definitely going to wait right here so he cannot get a shot on our cap. So there we go. We got the cap. You should have just rushed in and tried to shoot somebody. Maybe he didn't make it in time. 1,000-point game. Nice credits. A little bit of repairs there because I got hit quite a bit. 3 kills, damage on 3 guys, and detected one of their scouts right there. 12 out of 19 shots. Again, I don't really know what was happening. The gun is pretty accurate. I think the server reticle was not tight enough when I was shooting. Again, I had to get turret down again and not get shot too many times. I was already taking a lot of heat. So that's a very good game. Again, exactly how you play this tank. A little aggressive, but I had to be because nobody was really moving up. I had to make it happen. I made it happen. We won. Slight too much gambling in this tank. Again, it still paid off. I won. Tell me what you think about this tank. Hopefully I'll be getting the tier 8 soon. I think they do have an autoloader, but I'm not positive on that. It might be the tier 9. I can never remember if it's tier 8 or tier 9. Let me know what you think, and see you later, guys.